What's it been about Iowa over the years that they seem to give you guys good games every time out, and how much of that carries over now?
They're always, it's obviously, I think, a rivalry game. There's a bit involved there. You play them every year, regardless. So there's not a lot of secrets between the two teams, and two talented, tough, hard-nosed teams that want to have a certain style of play, I think, and they obviously typically always have high-level pitching, so that leads to a lot of close games.
What's the approach as a hitter when Iowa, especially this year, they have a lot of swing and miss stuff, but they're maybe not afraid to get out some walks too?
Yeah, I mean, kind of that fine line at the plate. You don't want to go to the plate passive. You don't want to go looking for a walk, because then you give up some good pitches to hit. You just have to do a good job, depending on what type of pitcher is on the mound, to where's his typical miss, what's that look like, and knowing kind of what that looks like, and knowing where your kind of window is to get the pitches that are hittable, and just make sure you're ready to hit those type pitches.
Does it feel like, given how last year's series went, that this one has a bit more meaning to try to find some sort of payback?
No, not at all. I mean, these are games we need to win regardless. So what happened a calendar year ago just really doesn't have any bearing on how we're going to prepare to go play. I mean, we certainly want to win every game we can, and we've got half of our conference season left to go try to finish at the top of the standings. So I'm not really thinking much about a calendar year ago, really.
Weather does not look good this weekend, Will. You guys have planned A, B, C, D, E, F, and G?
Yeah, I mean, it seems that way every time we have home games. We've got to make sure we look at the weather pretty closely. I mean, we've got the added extra events going on here with the spring game this weekend, and TV on Saturday. So I think we're going to be fine. There's going to be some thunderstorms, so obviously going to be lightning in the area, so that might be something that delays us a little bit. Could we possibly push tomorrow night's game back to miss weather? I think that could be a possibility. We'll just see what the forecast looks like tomorrow. We do have also some flexibility on Sunday with Iowa busing. Yeah, so that gives us a little bit better shot on Sunday to get the game in, and even if we don't have a window on Saturday, because we're not really going to be able to push the game up because of the spring game and TV. So do we have a long enough window to get two in if we need it? I don't know that we do on Saturday. So, but like I said, we have that flexibility Sunday. If we need to play at 4 p.m., we could potentially.
You could
do that.
Double on Sunday?
Well, I'm just saying we could play later if we needed to try to beat, because I just don't know. There may not be a big window for two games on any day.
The players say at least they have ping pong to kill time in the clubhouse. How do you kill time? How much do you hate delays?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's you just kind of find ways to kill time. We do have MLB TV in the office now, so you can log into Major League Game, and yeah, the players they've got the ping pong in there that they can keep them occupied, and yeah, I mean, it's part of baseball though. I mean, you play an outdoor sport. You're going to have thunderstorms you deal with, and sometimes even snowstorms.
Coach, last time we talked to you this week, you said, or this time last week, you said Sunday would be a TBD. What's the plan for the rotation this weekend?
Yeah, we'll go Walsh Sunday this week. So we'll have Sears and McConaughey, and then Walsh this week.
Anything that impacted that decision?
I think just the way Walsh threw last week, and just kind of what we're looking at moving forward is that he's been a reliable guy out there, and you don't necessarily have to be perfect, but just can you get us off to a good start? And I thought he did that last Sunday, and I think he's going to have a chance to do that again.
As an offshoot to that, what was the message to Drew after Tuesday's outing?
Well, obviously you can't let an inning snowball on you like that. And I think that's been a little bit of the Achilles heel with Drew. I mean, his slider was really good, and then it just went away. How can you find that consistency piece of it? Does it need to come from being in the bullpen? Maybe that's the case. Maybe we can see him in a shorter stint, because I thought he did have his velo there. He obviously got a lot of swing and miss from a really good Kansas team that doesn't strike out much early in that game. Could he do that in a shorter stint out of the pen? I think we might see that, and see if he can get some confidence that way.
Despite the Tuesday loss, RPI is still looking good, and KU is a good team, but
yeah.
How do you not get in your head like flashbacks from last year? Like, why do we have to drop these midweek games?
I mean, until you can actually do something about it, like those thoughts are there. I mean, it's not like we're going into those games and playing sloppy baseball. that's the thing it's been frustrating. It's not like you're going and not showing up to compete. I mean, we've had a chance to score early in games. I mean, they made a great play in the first inning, or we're going to score, right out of the chute. We're not making 3 errors a game and, just not looking disinterested to play. I mean, I think that's the difference for me right now is that we've lost a game in the 9th inning. We had a lead in a couple of other games and didn't hold them. And Kansas, they've got a really good offense, and they put it on us Tuesday. I don't think it was a case of really us not playing well. We didn't pitch well in 2 innings, and that's why we lost. I'm frustrated by it. I want to win every game. It's not like we're going into those games going, well, we'll see if this works with this guy today. I mean, only certain guys are available to pitch, and it's those extra couple of innings there where we've got to try to minimize the mistakes to get the ball's hand up. And also, you can't look up in the 7th inning and have 3 runs on 5 hits either. As many hard balls as you might hit and as many innings as you set up, you've got to knock those innings down.
You guys have to be really excited with Jalen and what he's brought out of the bullpen for you, especially his last couple outings have been pretty good.
Yeah, he's been a guy we've been eager to get the ball to, and I think you've seen that on Fridays. He's been kind of the first guy to get the ball. The stuff's good, the velo's good. He's competitive. He wants to be in those situations, and I think the team feels really confident with him on the mound because he has really good mound presence.
A month left in the year-ish. What are you still looking to learn about this team at this point?
Well, yeah, I think part of any good team, you're going to have moments in the season where the breaks aren't going your way, where you're not, winning games that maybe you won, earlier in the season, but great teams always find a way to finish strong, so that's our goal is we've got half the conference season left. We've got, a handful of midweek games left. Can we finish strong? Because if we can start strong and finish strong, then you've got a chance to be a championship-type team. But we've got to flip that script a little bit. But, again, can you continue to win on the weekends? If you continue to win on the weekends, you've got a chance to win the league.
What stands out about Iowa this year? Is it a team that looks like it's started to turn the corner?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think so. I think they're playing as good as they've played all year right now. They've got obviously 3 high-level starters. I think they're starting to figure some things out in the bullpen. They have a lineup that hits over 300. They can steal bases. They lay down bunts. They do some things offensively that make you defend them. I think they're playing as good as they've played all year right now, and it's obviously going to be a huge challenge.
Will, I've noticed you guys don't throw the ball around the horn.
Yeah. After strikeouts.
Right. Yeah.
That's something that Coach Childress, he kind of implemented that, I want to say, 5 years ago maybe at A&M. Just stopped doing it. 2 reasons, I think. Number one, at the time we had a catcher that wasn't good at it. So we just stopped doing it and stopped throwing the ball into left field. And I think just to keep the game flow going of just getting the ball back in the pitcher's hands and him ready to throw the ball instead of walking around the mound thinking about, what's going on before the next pitch. I think, and he asked me, when he became pitching coach, are you good if we stop throwing the ball around the horn again? I said, I don't care. It doesn't, one way or the other, it doesn't matter to me.
Pitchers like it? That's less time for them to breathe before the next at-bat.
I haven't asked him.
Brett was also the bat boy on Tuesday.
Yeah.
For the first half of the game. Is that something he usually does?
He's done that. And typically when he's done it, we've scored a lot of runs, and that's why he did it on Tuesday. Unfortunately, it didn't work out as well for us. But yeah, when we don't have Bodie or Austin there, Brett's usually one of the first ones to volunteer.
Is that pretty uncommon that your ace is stepping up to go fetch the bats?
I would say so. Brett's a pretty unassuming guy, though. He's just, oh yeah, okay, that's what the team needs me to do. I'll do it. He's willing to do those things.
Thanks,
Cool. Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.